We're on Cane Garden and we're getting ready to take off. I wanted to show you kind of the process and explain it a little bit. So when we first get here and we're ready to moor, we have a line on each side that is already cleated. So we start out with one line cleated on one end and the other end loose on both the port and the starboard. We don't use these cleats down here for mooring. This is aluminum, and the charter company prefers us to use the other cleats because they're stronger. So when we come in, we have two lines, one cleated on starboard and port, and Vicky has been coming up with a hook, a pole, and picking up the ring or pendant, and once she gets that up, she runs one loose end through and back to one end. It doesn't matter starboard or port. So now, and we cleat that off. So now the boat is secure. But then we run a second line through the pendant and cleat that off. So you run a line through, bring it back, it could be the starboard, and cleat it off, then run another line through and cleat it off on the port. So you've got some redundancy. You've got two lines instead of one. So if you have some chafing, hopefully the two lines will hold you. So that's how we've been doing it. I'll show some video on that.
You see where you are? Yeah. All right. I got it. I got it.
Cameraman, you're going to kill it every time.
Got it?
Yeah. So it's that easy. Not every time. But you know, oddly, there was no wind coming in, so everything was kind of swirling around, and the pendant, the line that it's on, was not kind of the way the wind was going, so had to make a little adjustment on the approach. But we did it in like 15 knots, and it was pretty easy too. It just depends. Communication is the real difficult thing because I have trouble hearing her, so we think we need to get radios. But good job.
Yay.
When we moored, there really wasn't any wind, so the mooring ball floated up under the catamaran, so you really couldn't see how the lines work very well. But now that we've got some tension on it from the wind, you can see that we have two lines through the pendant. One line looping and going back to this cleat, and the other one going back to this cleat. So you have some redundancy in case there's chafing. I'm going to dive down on the mooring.
there's no wind right now, so if there was wind, the boat would really be pushed back away from the mooring. But the wind's kind of swirling around, so the mooring is getting up underneath the hull. So, but try to look at the, kind of inspect it the best you can. Look at the chain, and this goes down to basically like a rod that's been bedded into the ocean floor, looks like. And sometimes there's a lot of barnacle and growth, so it's kind of hard to really inspect it, but you just do the best you can.
All right, Vicki, what have you thought about this process so far?
Okay, so first of all, it's fine with 2 people. Probably even fine with 1 person, right? If you know what you're doing. But it's definitely easier if you've got at least another adult. Remember the first time we came, that was like a dozen years ago, I was trying to get the hook into the pendant, and that's, you know, you're threading a needle, right?
Yeah, okay.
It's a little more difficult. So this time around, I remembered that I didn't necessarily have to go that far, so I just get the hook on the rope at any point of the rope, and then I can just pull the rope up and then get to the pendant. Once I get the pendant, then I just get the loose end of the rope, first one, in there into the pendant, and then tie it off, and then you worry about getting it on the second one. So,
yeah. So once she has one
yeah.
tied, so now we have one line securing the boat, then I come up and help. Well, actually, I think I come up when you have the first line through the pendant.
Yeah.
I come up and we'll often cleat that one off, and then we'll start on the other one. So some of them have been really smooth. Like we came in here and it was blowing like 15 knots, and we didn't have a problem.
Yeah.
But I think some of it is like how tired you are, and you know.
And it helps. Like I said, I think it's just we've got the 2 engines, we've got more maneuverability on this, so I feel like I tell you to stop and you pretty much stop.
Yeah.
Like we're not, you know, in Catalina we're going over, we're overshooting it because the current's taking us, and
yeah,
it's harder to
and we have a 30-foot sailboat, and it's not great maneuverability for sure. So we'll film this with you taking off, which is really pretty simple. And you'll just uncleat, because you just leave it cleated, the other end cleated for the next time.
Yeah.
She just uncleats one end on both the starboard and the port, and I'll be at the helm when she does that, and then she'll let me know when it's off.
First one's off. Second one's off. All right, we're taking off, huh? There we go.
These mooring balls are owned by different companies or individuals, and you really should go down and check them, because you don't want to just rely on somebody else to make sure that they're safe. You can inspect them only to a certain level. The chain has so much coral and growth on it that it can be difficult to tell, but I mean, you could at least go down and see if there's anything obvious, a lot of chafing or chain that looks like it's about to break through. So go down and do what you can to check it out. I did that yesterday and got stung by a jellyfish, so but it wasn't bad. It only hurt for a couple of hours. But you know, it can be intimidating. I know when we first moored where we always go, which is Catalina, which is 26 miles off the coast of the mainland of California. It is part of California, but it's about 26 miles from Alamitos Bay, where we're at, to get to Catalina. And then, as Vicki said, you know, you do the mooring and you moor both the bow and the stern. And we've gotten used to that. We've been doing it for 20 years. And you come out here, it's a little different situation, but you have better maneuverability with a catamaran for sure than you do our boat. It's very doable. You just have to get over that intimidation factor. And we didn't have any problem this time. It was a lot of fun. Well, we argued a little bit, a couple times. Communication can be difficult because you're so far away from each other, and I can't hear Vicky, and so we're trying to do hand signals. If we had a two-way radio, that would be helpful, particularly if it's voice activated where you didn't have to key in a mic or something. But so I hope this helps you if you go somewhere and you're going to do some mooring. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.